We want to update you on the latest in the search to find his assassin, because the news is breaking by the minute in what we know right now about motive. Charlie Kirk's killer engraved the ammunition used to murder him with pro-transgender ideology, according to reporting in multiple outlets, to the surprise of literally no one. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I have more to report to you, okay? But I just have to pause here. Of course, that's the first thing I thought yesterday. I'm sure it ran through a lot of the minds of you watching this program as we did it live. Charlie was outspoken on the trans issue and many issues. But there's one particular group that's been running around killing Americans in the name of transgender ideology lately, and it's transgender activists or individuals or those who proclaim that they are. Doesn't mean they're all murderous, but there's a particularly high percentage committing crimes these days. And it is responsible and important to say so, which is what Charlie was doing. The thought that this was a person acting to avenge some sort of trans person or objecting to Charlie's stance on the trans issue is entirely chilling to me, because when Charlie and I first became friends, this was an issue he wasn't even talking about that much, but he was resonating with some on the right and was a growing issue. And he told me that one of the reasons why I kept coming into his algorithm and catching his attention was because we were talking about this issue, and his sister, who's also outspoken and a Christian, had been forwarding him, I guess, a bunch of videos she'd seen on our show. That's what he told me. And of course, like many on the right, it became more and more in his lens over the past few years because it's grown in the public sphere. It's hard to avoid. And you've got the vast majority of Americans right now ignoring it out of a sense of politeness or kindness, a misperceived sense of kindness, and not saying anything about it. And then you've got this smaller faction of us who have been jumping up and down about it. And Charlie became one of them. And I, of course, had become one of them and am one of them and will continue to be one of them. And on that front, to Charlie's killer, there's no such thing as a trans child. Men cannot have babies or chest feed an infant. A man cannot become a woman. A woman cannot become a man. Those are truths, and you will hear them here relentlessly. And it won't just be me. It'll be many of us on the right who will not be silenced and who will make it our mission now to continue saying all the things that you thought you silenced with that bullet. And guess what? You can't take us all out. If people are true to Charlie's legacy, if college students and high school students who felt inspired at all by Charlie feel the need to live up to his example, they'll say it too. And they can't take us all out for speaking the truth about one of the most divisive, awful issues we've ever had infect our culture. I would love to say the left is learning, that the media is learning, and that now that they see yet again that this was an issue behind a brutal assassination, a murder of one of our national gems, that they'll see the error of their ways, that they'll start realizing they cannot keep coddling this dangerous ideology. But I know it won't be this way. I know it's not true. I know because I understand the media, and I know because I saw CNN after Steven Crowder was the first to report this, what was on the cartridge. CNN, and then the Wall Street Journal ultimately matched his reporting, but he broke it, Steven Crowder. CNN popped up a chyron on their screen and put up an article at CNN.com that cultural phrases were engraved. Cultural phrases were engraved on the cartridges. Here's what the reporting actually says, that it was phrases on the cartridges expressing, quoting here, expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. Transgender and anti-fascist ideology, not cultural phrases. And CNN fucking knows that and won't write it because it's still a sacred cow. You can't say anything about the transgender thing because they're so unstable, you might cause another one to do it. And because they're in the protected category that cannot be criticized or you're a bigot. How many times has that word been used against me for speaking truth on trans? Me, Billboard Chris, Riley Gaines, take your pick. Anyone on the right, anyone who speaks the truth about this issue, and not just this issue. Not just this issue. The anti-fascist ideology is clearly a reference to Charlie's Trump support, because that's what the left says about Trump. He's a fascist. His attempts to undo Joe Biden's immigration mess, that's fascism. Take your pick. And the left and the media, but I repeat myself, uses these phrases about him, this phrase, as though it's not even controversial. It's regularly thrown out there as though it's just factual. But when it comes to actual facts about trans violence, that needs to be buried with amorphous, meaningless phrases like cultural phrases were on the ammo. The Steven Crowder reporting this morning, I pulled it up for you, was given to him, he reports, by an ATF source. And it's an ATF, or by a law enforcement source, and it is an ATF document. And it reads in part as follows. This is clearly an ATF write-up of what they've learned so far, some of which was repeated in the FBI presser this morning, some of which was not. On September 10th, at approximately 12:24 p.m., conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University in Utah. Mr. Kirk was speaking at the university as part of the American Comeback Tour. Multiple law enforcement agencies responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser .30-06 caliber bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. All of this has been confirmed by the FBI after the fact, after Stevens' report. Wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top Fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. What the exact quotes are, we don't know. An emergency trace has been submitted to an ATF law enforcement working leads generated by the trace. The firearm and ammo have been taken by the FBI for DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional importer information. Multiple people of interest having contacted or detained because of eyewitness testimony and review of video footage have been, I guess they meant it right. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting the investigation with multiple other federal, state, and local partners. The case is co-led by the FBI and the Utah Bureau of Investigation, State Bureau. Now, the FBI has also just released 2 images of what they call a person of interest. This just happened. It's 12:09 Eastern on Thursday. He is seen here with a baseball hat, sunglasses, and a shirt that appears to have an American flag on it, along with something else, though it's difficult to decipher. Here's another image taken from a different angle. Again, you can see he's wearing blue jeans, a dark shirt, sunglasses, and a hat. And on the front of his shirt, there appears to be a flag with something else on it. He appears to be white, young, male, in his early 20s. If you have any information on this individual and law enforcement is asking for your help, you are asked to call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-225-5324. They don't have him. He remains at large and obviously is considered dangerous. This morning, the FBI held a press conference and reported the following. Investigators have obtained, quote, high-quality video of the assassin, but will not yet release that to the public. The suspect, who the FBI referred to as a man, appears to be, they said, quote, of college age. Other evidence they have collected includes a palm imprint, they said, on the gun, a forearm imprint, and, quote, a footwear impression. Obviously, we believe that's from the ground, leading to or from the college. They also have tracked the shooter's movements from the moment he arrived on campus, thanks to all the security cameras that they have, right up to the moment he escaped. Take a listen.
Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately.
Just getting this in, and it's no surprise, per the New York Times, efforts to identify the suspect through facial recognition technology did not work. And that's why they are now asking for the public's help to catch him. It's amazing. He appears young in the pictures, and that would track because virtually all of us could be caught by facial recognition. I mean, it's quite vast, the number of pictures that they have of all of us online, not just people like me who are more familiar, but any of us. We had somebody on who walked us through the vast abilities of the facial recognition technology. They can get you when you're just 3/4 of a face, 2/3 of a face, 1/3 of a face. So I suppose the fact that this guy's young limits the number of public pictures of him. Again, assuming it's a him. It looks like a him on the limited pictures that they've released. And what they've said is that they've referred to him as he. The New York Times also reported a short time ago, citing its law enforcement sources, that the weapon and the ammo are being traced by ATF analysts in West Virginia. But that evidence has not yet led to a person of interest. In short, the FBI reported literally everything that was in the Steven Crowder ATF report, except what was written on the cartridges. When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, you'd be right. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. And so they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text MK to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.